Hey, what's up, my soap opera peeps? Miss Soap Obsessed here, aka Danny Bear 87. This is my soap rankings for the month of February 2026. In this video, I'll be ranking the soaps from worst to best, and then you know why I gave them this rating, the good and the bad. Even the best soap has some bad stuff. You know, nobody's perfect, and the bad can also have some good stuff. Maybe, hopefully. We'll see. But before I get any further in this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos about soap operas. I watch all five, and I talk about all five, and I have some ideas for videos that I can do to post in March, which I'll do a better job because February, I did not do many videos in February from being sick, losing my voice, but my voice is here for now. But anyways, get into the rankings. Number five, you can't be surprised that I would rank them this low. If you know me very well, and as well as if you've watched the soap. I had to give it to The Bold and the Beautiful, definitely. I swear the show is like a parody of soap operas. I was just thinking of that yesterday when I was watching. It's like, you know how at the end they have the really dramatic music and everybody just staring. It's like they're just like making fun of themselves, basically. I'm like, there's no way that they can actually think that this is like a really serious soap. Like seriously, that's just what it seems like to me. It's like they're doing all the kind of stuff that people, judge soap operas about. They're just like basically just making fun of everything. That's how I feel about it. And also the writers, they're not putting that much effort into the show. Not just with the scripts, but also storytelling as well. It's like, are you really serious? Do you not watch your own show? It's like, with Eric, Brooke and Ridge don't understand why Eric felt unwanted and wouldn't want to come into the office. You forced him to retire. That's why he feels that way. It's just so stupid. And it's like no matter how much Bill and Katie and Eric himself even said to them. And also Ridge told Katie that Eric is done working for her. I don't think that Eric actually said that. I didn't want to put myself through the trauma of rewatching that episode, but I don't think that Eric actually said that. I think that's just Ridge saying it to Katie. But that would be interesting. This out of the storylines, I think this one is the most interesting as you can get on the soap because now Ridge wants Eric to come back and do a line with him, and not drugs. Work on the designs he saw that Eric did, while at the same time Bill is telling Katie, Eric, he drew these for Logan, we're gonna do that. So ugh, that's I was like, kind of, why am I still watching this up? And I was like, I'm kind of intrigued by this storyline. It's just, can we not have Ridge and Brooke talk anymore during the storyline? And I did a rant the other day talking about everything with Electra and Will. It's just, oh, so stupid. Oh my gosh. I can understand wanting to have some trouble with cause some trouble with Electra and Will. But this whole Dylan stuff, and I was just thinking of always, how Electra says that Dylan's her friend, so why didn't she have Dylan move in with her or see if, they get Dylan a room at Eric's? I know he's probably has a million rooms in a house. Or tell Dylan to Electra give Dylan her place and then Electra move in with Will. They didn't have to need Dylan to move in with Will, and then Ivy, she needs to catch a charge for being a snoop. Also, Electra writing a letter. Who writes letters these days? Especially Electra, who, you know, is, lives, grew up in a digital world. So why the hell would she write him a letter when she could just text him? And even if Ivy didn't take the letter, who's to say what time Will would have saw the letter? So Electra could have just been sitting in that place for like ever. Not only that, but now Ivy thinks that her niece should date her cousin. Not biologically, but still, they have the same freaking last name. Anyways, and of course, still Deacon pissing me off being brand new with Sheila. It's like, all the stuff that Sheila's done, and you think that the worst thing she could ever do that you can't forgive her for would be, not saying that her granddaughter's still alive. I don't know. He goes from I love Sheila to I need Taylor right now. And oh my gosh, the preview for next week looks like Lordy, you just have to watch it. Also, what pissed me off about Ivy, besides being annoying, is that she told Daphne that Will had sex the night before he took um Electra's virginity. Well, she didn't say it like that. She said he had sex the night before he was with Electra. And I'm like, he didn't sleep he didn't sleep with another woman. He was sexually assaulted by a woman the night before. Yes, he should have said something to Electra about it, but he didn't willingly sleep with Luna. And the fact that Ivy said it like that just makes me piss me off even more. Not just about her, but the writers also, because they wrote that. Not only that, but they wrote Luna and what happened. They wrote Luna doing that to Will. So that just totally pissed me off even more about this whole situation. But anyways, on to number 4. It hurts to put them this low, but I had to give it to Days of Our Lives because these storylines have been dragging on for way too long and not in a good way. Like seriously, the only thing I'm enjoying is Leo and Dimitri in Alemania. They're hilarious. It doesn't matter what scenes you put them in. It's just gold to me. But still, their storyline is pretty stupid too because they're in Alemania, but they spent most of their time in the room and in bed, not in bed, but Lordy, it's stupid. It's like a waste of their time going over there. Not only that, but Dimitri was arrested for all of this when Liam gave a description of the dude that gave him the orders. I'm like, why didn't they have Liam, you know, the Liam. Why didn't they have Liam look at Dimitri also, or talk about Dimitri, or and ask him about Dimitri? I don't know. It's stupid, but I don't get that storyline at all. Not only that, but the whole Demir kidnapping, I still don't like that. Oh, I just talked about that. Um, Stephanie's kidnapping, they tried really hard to try to make it look like it was Jeremy, but I knew I didn't think Jeremy would have done it in the first place. Not only that, but it had been spoiled a while ago that he wasn't the stalker, was really Owen Kent. Um, and it's even worse because people are trying to make the storyline seem even worse by saying Owen was in a Jeremy mask. Stupid. But yes, basically they just brought Jeremy back to be a red herring, not as a way to try to redeem the character. Not only that, but he's him and Owen both are pretty forgettable characters. If you weren't watching during that time, and even if you were watching during that time, you probably don't really remember them. So the show really did a disservice to both of them. But it was also I don't understand how people don't know that Stephanie was dreaming that she saw Jeremy in the scrubs. I still don't understand how nobody understood that. How can Jeremy be in two places at once? Like he's right there with Stephanie in scrubs, but he's also outside of the pub in a hoodie. Really? Not only that, but coming back a second time with Alex and shooting him. Like Alex is with EJ and the other cop at his and Stephanie's place at the same time that this is happening. So I don't know. And at the very end, if you're still not convinced, you see Stephanie literally waking up. How could she just go through seeing Jeremy and Alex getting shot to just jumping up like that? Come on, I don't know. But anyways, also, but the good thing about that was we got to see Officer Hanson, who's really, really good looking man, who I hope that we get to keep and see more. Salem always needs another good looking man, that's for sure. Also, it's getting on my nerves with the whole Chanel. Not going to Stefano's funeral, only thinking about how awkward it was going to be being around EJ, instead of thinking that she should be there to support her husband, who's really sad that his Nona is dead. Is that how he pronounced it? I forgot. But yeah, it made me think about my husband, Eddie, when we started dating. His grandma died within a few months into us dating, and I went to her funeral. Never met her, only met a few of his family members before going to the funeral. So how awkward, and plus I'm just naturally awkward, shy and awkward, but I went to there to be supportive to him. I didn't think about how awkward it was going to be for me to meet family members that I've never met, and here I am at the funeral, you know, whatever. And of course, the Sophia mess. Like, really, why is Sophia still around? There's absolutely no reason for this trick to still be around. Not only that, but Bayview is hella incompetent place. When people go and visit people there, they don't go into their room. They meet in a more common area. So that's really stupid. Also, I don't see a reason why Sophia and Holly should have went to go see Sophia. If anything, anybody, they should had Kate go to see her. Not only that, but now Sophia is messing with Holly's vitamins, putting her medicine in there. When, at that place, somebody is watching them take their meds, make sure they take their meds. They're not just giving it to them and walking away. That's stupid. And now she's trying to get Rachel to give, some vitamins to Holly. But it looks like Melinda is going to be the one doing it because in the preview, Sophia has the box and is asking Melinda to do her a favor. It's really stupid. I hope Melina doesn't do it, but I think she is gonna do it. And it's stupid for Holly to do if she does take those because, looking at the box, one. And two, Sophia obviously opened it already and put the pills in there. So, that shows that the little seal is broken, and anybody knows that, the seal, you don't take meds if the seal's broken when you get it. Anyways, and Holly's stupid enough to not realize there's something up with those meds. That, and also, no child of Nicole Walker would be this stupid towards somebody like Sophia. Nicole always was a step ahead of Sammy. Sammy might have messed with Nicole, but, Nicole came back. And also, people stopped comparing Sophia and Jan. Sophia is nowhere in the lead of Jan's beers, so stop it. Anyways, I talked enough about these. Anyways, but the only good thing, it looks like we might be closer to seeing who's inside of the pod. I just posted a video about who I think is in there. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already. Anyways, on to number 3, the soap in the middle. Not bad, but not the best. I put in Beyond the Gates. I've been really enjoying Beyond the Gates lately. They've been putting out some really good stuff, and I'm really happy because January was kind of to me. They focused so much on the Bronca gene and just how everybody was just freaked out about it and testing for it and stuff. And it just really took away from Anita, who actually has cancer. The gene just heightens your chance of getting cancer. It doesn't guarantee that you will get the cancer. So I like that this month they focus more on Anita, her cancer, and her chemo treatment and everything, and losing her hair. And I'm like, girl, we know that's a wig. But she wore a wig when she went on the show to talk about her cancer. But I don't think that's really good. I'm just sitting back thinking about it. They should have did this around Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is in October. But oh well, better late than never. I think my dryer is finished. My dryer is finished. I'm not gonna be distracted. 'Cause if I walk away, then I'm gonna throw myself off. But I thought it was really good. Yeah, focusing on what she's going through versus other people and actually showing that it does seem like she has cancer with the dizzy spells and the nausea and everything. But I have to say that Anita, like I still say Anita is handling this better than other people are handling it, which is funny to me. And I feel like they're moving more forward with the storylines with Anita's cancer, as well as talking more about the free clinic, and also with Haley and her determination to kill Bill. That's one of my favorite movies. That's one of my favorite movies. Those two movies. If you haven't watched them, they're really good. Anyways, but they did see Madison did see that there was something wrong in there, but I guess to distract Bill and from it, as well as try to distract him away from Danny. She had the whole fake mugging thing with the I cannot. Oh my goodness, I forgot her friend's name that was doing that. Like, oh my gosh, this girl just would try anything. But I do need the storyline to end or get to a point to where, people are actually suspicious of what this girl is doing. Because when you really think about it, the storyline's been going on for a year, which also it marks 1 year that this week that Beyond the Gates has been on the air for 1 year. I mean, I know it was reviewed only a few months ago that Haley has been playing Bill this whole time, but the storyline, it started from the beginning. But even then, it's still been a few months. Bill's really stupid. I thought he was starting to pick up something with the whole tea thing, but I don't know. He's all over the place, worried about Danny and stuff. But also I like that they moved Ashley away from Derek and put her with that dude. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Hold on. Grayson. Okay, that was gonna drive me crazy. Grayson. Yeah, we haven't seen him. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. But I think I'm actually starting to like her again. I liked her in the beginning until she pushed Andre away as they were about to kiss and she did, but pushed him away. Then after that I just started getting annoyed with her. But I think she's putting her with Grayson really has helped her character move. So Derek was the problem. Poor Derek. Derek is really annoying. Sorry, but yeah, but putting Ashley with Grayson has really helped. Really helped the character. So like that. Also, I love that the show is focusing a lot more on romance and well, in Nicole's case, sex, because she's with Kyle and with Carlton, and Carlton was all pissed off. And I was like, "You go, Nicole, looking all hot and stuff." And I'm glad that they brought Kyle back because I've been a big fan of Greg Vaughn since I saw him on General Hospital. He's just a beautiful man that should always be on my TV screen. Um, but I like that they're focusing more on relationships and stuff because you don't really get that much on the other soaps. So at least not happy stuff. Drama, yes, happy. But I was actually liking Ted and Shanice. I actually liked them. I actually liked them together. Even though I really wanted Ted and Nicole to get back together, but maybe down the line that could happen. But Shanice and Ted are pretty good looking. But the show really messes up by giving us way too much Leslie, especially this week. It's like she was like talking to everybody and also getting in Anita's face. I'm like, girl, go somewhere. Anita doesn't have the strength to slap your ass again. She might find the strength to slap her ass again. Oh Lord, that scene is still like one of my favorites of Anita's. Just oh lordy. But I like that they're revisiting Laura get ran off the road. Yeah, that's coming up on a year since that's happened. Yeah, and it seemed like they were trying to build a case by her, and then it was like nothing. And then they mentioned, they didn't have enough evidence, blah blah. But now they're bringing it up again, showing Laura, and then talking about, how oh lordy, I cannot think of people's names today. Eva, lordy, how I forget Eva. Eva messed with the hid the evidence or whatever. But we shall see. But Kat, she moved the everything. She was messing with the stuff anyway, so she was messing up the case. But her getting all mad and then getting in Chelsea's face. I'm like, girl, Kat, I'm trying to like you, but when you do stuff like that, it's so stupid. Also, actually doing the undercover, letting us see the undercover case that Jacob is working on. I thought that was really interesting to see where that leads. Anyways, into the second place, the second best soap, I guess you would say, of the month. I give it to General Hospital again. Yeah, it's like last month I gave it to General Hospital again. um, so yeah, second soap going on. I love that they're doing more twists with this, revealing this week that Sidwell is helping Willow. Like he found out that she was the one that shot him, and then he supplied the medicine that Willow used to inject oh lordy. I cannot think of people's names. I'm just like talking and forgetting. Drew. I was about to call him Ryan. That's not his name. Wrong sorry. Drew to mimic that he had a stroke. It's funny, Sid would walk in and Drew's doing like the SOS blinking. I also like how Alexis visited him and then she's like, I don't have time trying to figure out what the hell you're saying. That's basically how I took she was saying when she visited him. But yeah, now Sidwell is using Willow because basically Drew was not really good at taking orders, so he helped Willow get into Drew's spot so he can control her a little more. Something like that. And I love that Britt and Jason are getting a little close, but unfortunately I heard that Steve Burton is gonna be taking some time off to spend with his family, which is good for him, but not really good for Jason and Britt. This whole storyline that has been dragged on for long enough, but but I like that Lucas. I didn't think that Lucas was going to find. I knew eventually he'll find out what Marco and Sidwell were doing, but I didn't think he was going to hear it. I was like, whoa, that's really a twist. And now he wants to help Britt and everything. I'm like, Now he wants Marco to help also. So I was like, ugh. But yeah, this really hurts Marco too, because he didn't tell his daddy that oh Lord, what I can never remember that dude. Castle. I don't remember the weird dude from the Five Poppies. He told Sidwell that Lucas knows. Yeah. Also, it's funny how Sidwell is involved in like literally everything on the show. He's like controlling pretty much everything on the show. Pretty much, when you think about it. Yeah, and it's good. Maxie finally woke up. I like how she just woke up and went to the door and already started mothering to Nathan to James, and she has a full face of makeup already. And I was like, did Georgie hook her mama up, or did the show not really take into account that somebody in a coma is not doing their makeup? But they lost me when they had Maxie choose Spinelli and Nathan choose Lulu. I'm like, really? You brought the man back from the dead and just not, he doesn't want to be with his wife? His wife doesn't want to be with him? What the hell? Not only that, but they never had Nathan go visit Maxie, and it's still up in the air if he's even really Nathan or if he is Nathan, he could have someone working on his brain or something. I still think it's stupid that nobody ever looked into Nathan and where he's been all this time. All they did was prove with DNA that he was Nathan, and then bam, all loves and he gets a job. Oh lordy. But speaking of jobs, Chase is really dumbass, still trying to prove that Michael was the one that shot Drew to clear Willow's name, even though her name has already been cleared. But I just need the truth to come out already so that Chase can look like a dumbass because he's really messing up his marriage with Brooklyn. And I think Tracy's gonna get involved with that. Just looking at the preview for Monday's episode. But I could be wrong, it could be something else. Because is back at Deception and is ready to kick Sidwell to the curb. He looked so annoyed when he was walking out with Lucy. Also, Sidwell, he's involved in everything, and then he's also, you know, Ava and Lucy are fighting over him. Like, oh lordy. Pick Ava, Sidwell. Lucy is just annoying as hell. Not to mention hella stupid. It was like wanting Sidwell to have all this control when she really doesn't know much about him. Especially, you don't give somebody completely control of your shipments and stuff, so you don't even know what's coming in. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Lucy's a dumbass. But Tracy and Maxie, I think, will find a way to maybe involve Spinelli. Because if Maxie's going to be with Spinelli, Spinelli needs to be on. But anyways, and they did the blizzard. I didn't think they really did much with the blizzard. It wasn't really that exciting, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out what Joss did when she went to Windermere, except for find that book that Cullum had. I don't understand. Not only that, but kissing cousins, really, um why do you have Danny kissing Charlotte? And then he's asking about family tree afterwards. I'm like, dude, you're both biologically Cassidines. No. I know on other soaps they date family members, but they're not blood related. They're related by adoption, marriage, or, you know, they share relatives. You know, they're not blood related. But anyways, on to the number one soap. You already know, obviously, process of elimination. The Young and the Restless. I swear I stepped into some kind of soap opera twilight zone when I started when I got back into watching soaps. Cause here I am putting down, you know, stuff that I liked, and then here I am, it really enjoyed by really enjoyed really enjoying Young and Restless, which is the soap that usually drives me away faster than any other soap. But I really love it. It's been a lot of drama, and I love that Victor still doesn't have his company back. Of course, Victor's gonna win and get his company back eventually, but I'm really surprised that it hasn't happened yet. It's like, it seemed like it was gonna happen. Kane was gonna turn over the company because Victor had Lily and the kids kidnapped, but really Lily is just working with Victor to stick it to Kane, which I don't understand. Really, after all Victor is done, took in, took Chancellor from you and kicked you out to put his incompetent wife in charge, but you hate your ex-husband, baby daddy more. That's why I think that Victor offered to give her Chancellor back if she helps him out, because that what makes the most sense. One and two, he won't say what he offered Lily. It's just an assumption at the moment because he doesn't want his wife to know, because his wife might do something like tell Kane, "Oh, hi, my husband really has your wife and kids." But I don't know. Nikki is just pathetic anyway. She's like, doesn't want to lose her lifestyle. That's why she told Victor. Remember, she told Victor, I think it was back in December, that she was leaving him. But then she came back 2 seconds later. She didn't want to get up with that lifestyle. But anyways, it looked like Kane was gonna turn it over to Victor, but then Phyllis was like, hell to the no, and got Billy to help her, stick it to Kane. I shouldn't laugh because this is a serious thing, but her, trying to seduce him and end up chloroforming him is freaking hilarious. Lordy, and she just left him in the bed on the train. And Victor being the one to find him, it's like looking at him like, huh? And he's like, trying to move him. It's like, are you still alive? That just makes it even funnier. And then Victor asking Adam to come over, and they're just like staring at him and talking and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, just it was. I shouldn't laugh, but that was hella funny. And Phyllis and Billy taking over everything is really fun. But some of the confrontations about it were kind of stupid, like Victoria wanting to turn Phyllis and Billy over for taking over the company, talking to the FDA and stuff. I'm like, your dad literally just did the same thing to Kane as well as Matt Clark. But now it's a crime because it's done to you. Victoria, get on my nerves. Like seriously, she is just a mini Victor, just running her mouth all the time, just getting on my nerves. That's stupid. Even Sharon was getting on my nerves too. I like Sharon has always been my favorite character on the show, but her getting on Phyllis. But it looked like she was getting somewhere with Phyllis until Nick's ass walked in. Ugh, lordy. Not only that, but Victor and Victoria using people's kids to get revenge. Sending Billy's kids away because she doesn't like what he's doing, and then also talking about how much there are Newmans, messing with their legacy and stuff. I'm like, girl, they are also Abbotts. They were Abbotts before they were Newmans. They were in they're I know not being disgusting or explaining stuff, but they were came out of Billy and got into your Newman eggs. So they were Abbott's first bitch. Yeah, I don't know, but I like that yesterday. Lauren is on Phyllis's side, and she thought that was really good. But I think it's stupid that Phyllis offered Lauren a job, basically telling her ditch your company to come work for her. I don't know, but yeah, even though some of the confrontations, the wording was really annoying, it's still really good drama stuff. And now turning Nick into a drug addict. Oh lordy. Giving Nick a personality as I called it. But I'm so mad that him and Sharon are not back together. But maybe the storyline will finally seal the deal. But hold on. And I'm sorry, my dogs were barking. And the whole outrage about everybody being mad about what Billy, Phyllis, and Kane did to Newman when Victor has been screwing over people, especially the Abbotts, for so many years. This is uh karma. Definitely karma. So there are some people that are happy about it. Lauren, Audra, and Kyle have a good laugh. Oh, Jack and Diane have a good laugh about it also. So at least some people have some sense. But the bad stuff is, yeah, using kids as revenge, as well as Mariah's kidnapping Dominic seemed very out there. But I'm glad it didn't last very long. And also, Tessa and Mariah, they didn't actually show them together. They did that off screen with Tessa, when Mariah finding out that Tessa wants to get a divorce. You know, that all we saw was Tessa telling that to Daniel, which is really stupid. But whatever, Young and Restless just proves that they just refuse to care about the LGBTQ community, which is a downfall for the show, but whatever. Anyways, what are your soap rankings for the month of February? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more soap opera videos and soap ranking videos. I'll do this at the end of each month. It's gonna be weird next month because the last day of the month is in the middle of the week. But we'll see how well that goes. But yeah, I don't want to watch the full week because then I'll go into April and confuse me. But anyways, we'll see. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and see you guys in my next video, whenever that is. Love you guys. Bye.